Hey everybody, this is Alzorath and welcome to GamerFi. Today we're taking a look at Rebel Galaxy, a space opera of sorts, if you will. It has a sort of naval combat system and it's pretty engaging storyline and is a whole lot of fun for me to play. I've actually put several hours into this at this point. For the gameplay demonstration, I'm going to bring you guys into the actual farming of resources, if you will. So I'm going to be getting resources to build up for a new ship. So that's what you guys are going to be witnessing here. I'm going to show several missions, and I will be showing you the general combat and stuff like that. Now, there are trade missions. I won't bore you with those because I know what you're here for. You're here for the meat of the gameplay. That is the combat and the story. Not going to spoil the story for you, so we're going straight for the combat. Has a save system. The options are out-of-game options. It basically has a pop-up before you launch that says stuff like you can set the settings and high, medium, low for various things. It has a lot of settings. You can even change the music. Currently, I am using the default music, and it's exceptional music. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys hear some of that in-game in a little bit, but let's go ahead and click on continue, and I will jump on into the game that I have already started. You'll hear the music slowly fade out, and we have a decent ship here. It's a starter ship, but we've got it relatively well equipped. You can change weapons using the number keys, which is fairly straightforward. You can also use a gamepad for this. They recommend the gamepad. I have had no problems with keyboard and mouse. It's just pretty straightforward. You can have the special boost right there, and you also have just normal speed up and slow down. You might hear me tapping the keys. That's just so you can hear them in the background, I guess. That, or I just get vehemently involved with pressing keys. Now let's see what kind of missions we have. I'm not even sure which ones I left up last time I played. Oh, we only have quest missions, so let's not do that. Let's drop in on the space station here, and I'll show that off. That's kind of an important thing. We'll wander on up over here, and we can hold E to dock, and in we go. A lot of the mechanics of this game are based on hold the button systems. Like, you hold this button to make sure you want to tractor beam something, enter somewhere, interact with something, possibly bring up the comm system, stuff like that. You also have a different radial menus to control stuff as well, such as during the scan screens and stuff like that. Some of the interface is a little bit clunky in my opinion, but for the most part it is straightforward, and it does tell you how to do pretty much everything you will ever need to do in the game. So anyway, here in the space station we have the equipment bay, which is where we can set up equipment. We can buy weapons, defensive components, surplus and stuff like that, and you also have the option to sell your current one should you put in another one. Like if we bought the plasma drive, we could sell the one that we currently have equipped. Personally, I'm not going to do that because I am saving up money. I'm currently flying my Matilda here, which is the starter vessel renamed. You can rename that as well. Let's go ahead and back out of here. We have the shipyard where you can buy new ships. Currently, the only thing I could afford besides this is the Mastodon. I am saving up for a 10,000, but there are quite a few ships you can choose between. And they all have different stats, different turning speeds, and you can take a full 360 view of them on this screen right here with just using the right mouse button to kind of hold it down and drag. It's pretty cool. Most of your views of your ship are going to be around this degree. You can sort of slant it up. If I go like that, you can see that I can lift it up just a little bit above it, but it's going to give you the view that you're going to have most of the time of your ship, which is going to be rotating around. Currently don't have enough for the ship that I want, so I'm not going to buy that. You can do trading in this game through a commodities market. You can get hints from the bar as to what's selling really well and what is not, and also the color scheme will tell you a little bit whether it's up or down in the area as well, and also tell you if it's illegal. So yeah, keep an eye on that. And certain illegal things can be sold at different places, whereas other places it cannot. So another important thing to remember, we actually have some supply of a few things, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to buy those. So we currently don't have any. I was misreading it for a second there. It's been about 2 days since I played last. So let's go ahead and look at the mission board. Here's where you're going to get your missions. Let's see available mission logs. You can see by the color how difficult it is. Double Trouble is going to be a very low risk mission. We're going to go in and just totally decimate that. It's 2 areas of possible pirate activity that allow us to fly between two of them. We'll accept that mission. You can fight off some Doublejack Harriers, which Doublejack is a group of enemies in this sector that are kind of like pirates, if you will. You have delivery missions, you have destroy the prototype missions, and you have Eliminate Henrik and Nemesis. I haven't actually ran across one. Local trader wants revenge against a crazed pirate. So basically it's a bounty hunt. So we can take that one as well. We'll take the double jack. I need as much money as I can get. Mission log will tell you the current missions that you have available and will let you set it as your primary or not primary. We are on Double Trouble as our primary. They should be relatively close so we can see 2 combat situations there. They should be decent combat as well, considering that I have had capital ships in those before. Let's go ahead and back out of that one. You also have a bar here where you can hire mercenaries, or we already have this particular mercenary, hence Merc already employed. And we can dismiss them here as well. Our guy is the merc from this particular station. You have bartender, which you can sometimes solicit information from. You can also pay for. Sometimes he'll request money for it. Other things he'll just kind of like ask about. The graphics for it are quite well done. I do enjoy them. There are even alien languages. Let's go ahead and click nevermind, and I will let that one slide. Let's end conversation. The voice acting is pretty good. It's not amazing, but it's pretty good. And if you come in here on the news board, you have a decent amount of information there as far as what you can trade to where. Now, the voice acting, if we come back here, I'm not sure whether I'm going to actually remember to turn that up, but the voice acting on him is about on par with, say, StarCraft 2's voice acting. Just to make a direct comparison there. It's pretty good. I enjoy it. It's convincing. It's not totally immersing, but it gets the point across and is of reasonable quality, so it's enjoyable. Let's go ahead and depart station. It's better than a lot of other games, let's put it that way. Can always strive to be better, though. Now we currently have the missions on the map. We can go into like a big overview of the area. You can see that they're all located down here. Usually the missions are going to be located kind of near the station. Sometimes you'll get some that are like 10,000 SM out, which is a long distance, a long haul kind of thing, which we're not going to bother doing. You can set one waypoint in here, and you can set nav points as well. And you'll find different things as you're wandering around, and it'll be added to the map. So it's a pretty good little thing there. We fly back to our ship. I think that's always looking so neat. But let's get away from the station, and we will go after our primary mission, which is the Double Trouble mission over here. Now, you may be saying, wow, that number is decreasing really, really slowly. Well, thankfully, they do allow you to warp once you get far enough away from things. So all we have to do is hold down a button, and boom, the warp mechanic is very satisfying, and it's fairly quick. You're not going to be like fast traveling anywhere, so the warp mechanic has to be good. You might see little red blips pop up on my screen. I'm not going to really bother dealing with those. Those are just random enemies or random pirates you'll find out in the depths of space. And we are getting pretty close. It will bring me out of warp whenever I come close to another stellar mass. So whenever I get close to one of these asteroids, it'll kick me out. And we see some double jack retaliators, and yeah, we can scan. Nothing too severe. There's one capital ship and a few little fighters. I'm not too worried about it. Currently have our broadside cannons, and we just already destroyed that guy. We are a little bit overmatched for this one. So you'll see us just totally destroy these things. The lasers are extremely satisfying. We need to get him below us for that to actually connect. There you go. And we're trying to hit him with it. Not really succeeding. We do have plasma cannons on the top that are slowly picking away at him. There, now he's underneath us. We can just blow him away really, really quickly. And that's pretty much how a super easy mission goes. You tend to decimate them rather quickly. It has a pretty good judge as to whether you are going to be in high danger with something. Honestly, I can handle up to the red missions now, which I've gotten used to the controls and stuff like that, and how to engage large groups of enemies, which you do encounter. You'll encounter large swaths of like 15, 20 enemies, mix of fighters and capital ships. We are technically a capital ship, and the combat is very, very dangerous in those situations because you kind of have to slowly whittle them down from the outside to effectively take them out. Oh, and this is a nebula. You might see some odd effects in here. As we pass into the nebula, you'll have a little bit of lightning and stuff around, and there are going to be oddities with the radar and stuff like that. Oh, geez. They are really coming in on us. You also have secondary weapons. Currently, we have flat cannons. Not really super effective, but for these fighters that want to get up really close, I can use them to pretty much just shut them down pretty quickly. Oh, and there's some cargo that we could grab. That is illegal cargo. You can just tractor that in if you really, really want. We'll probably dump it later because it does hurt your reputation with the kind of police force here. Let's get out of this nebula. We'll do some double jack harriers as well. That, or let's eliminate this bounty real quick because he's a little bit closer. You can see that they're pretty close. Turning the camera is nice. I can turn it without actually turning my ship. Now, the combat is, as I said, very naval oriented. So you'll tend to go into the situation where you're going to be broadside, using broadside cannons, which you can see me aiming right there. I have a very high speed. Oh, wow, we already beat that one. We killed him quick. We have a very high speed lock-on with our side ones. There are ones that are a little bit weaker, and we have some hull damage there. The damage on your ship being visible is really nice in this, by the way. It's really well done, and I do enjoy it. Let's see. Nothing else that we really want to deal with there. We did have some mines back there. Mines you can blow up by shooting them, so it is all kinds of awesome. Don't really want to worry about the rest of that stuff just right now. Oh, and we got caught by a pirate. Oh, let's engage the pirate on our way. The combat, it may seem a little bit slow-paced currently, but it gets really, really hectic whenever you're up against a lot of enemies. And that pirate sow is a little bit dangerous, so we want to kind of keep at a distance. It's out of range of my main guns, but it's not out of range of my secondary guns, which is kind of how I planned this. So we took him out really quickly, and you'll notice that my faction on the left over there got reduced by 1. My reputation with them has gone downhill. It's going downhill rather frequently anyway, so I don't really care too much. You can see your current faction status. It gives you a lot of information here, like including your cargo hold, well, that's your system settings. You have your equipment here, which we'll go over in just a minute, and this is the wrong one for it. Let's go ahead and press tab, and you can scan the ship. If we zoom in there, you can get information about it. It's just all kinds of interesting things you can get as far as the information goes, and map will give you a layout of where things are. It's just all kinds of information if you're willing to dig around for it. That can be useful in the long run. Let's see, what else? We've got a little bit of bio waste that we can grab there, and yes, your little friend sometimes does run into you. They generally seem to be applying the rules of fighters to the little allies that you hire, and you can only have one mercenary at a time. So you'll notice that he goes up and above me and down below me as well. Ooh, explosions, not very fun there. But I cannot. We now have a bunch of illegal crap on us, so that's not pleasant. But let's go ahead and actually jump over into this thing over here. Let's get into the ship. No, that's not the one. The ship one just tells you what components you have. Over here in the tactical, you can actually set up your targeting for the secondary turrets, because you're the only one that can fire the broadsides, so you have to target those by yourself. You can also switch over to manual control on the turrets and above and below, and you can control your little co-pilot thing, not co-pilot, mercenary. Just completely flaking on the word right there through this menu. You can't control him directly, unfortunately. But you can make him target any craft, or you can have him target only what you're targeting. You can have him target what's you've locked, what fighters are around you. He'll only target those instead of the capital ships. You can have him target only the capital ships or only turrets. Turrets are around stations. I haven't actually had to fight any of those personally, and manual only. I haven't ever tried to control him, so I don't think you can. If you can, it's a control that I haven't found yet, but manual control for the normal turrets is just fine. I just do it on any craft for now because, frankly, the enemies are not as complicated as I wager they're going to get. So, yeah, I'll set it to any craft. If I want to deal with a bunch of fighters and have myself dealing with the capital ships, I'll set it to fighters only. That way I can dive a little bit deeper into clusters of enemies. But you can also have it set just to fire at the nearest target, and it will be just kind of a little bit more relaxed play, but you won't be able to take on as high of challenges if you're relying solely on the AI control of the cannons to deal with it. You saw some blue blips on the radar there. That was just some allies that we passed by. You'll come across huge convoys of ships at times just flying through space. You can race them. Some of them will be faster than you. I found that out, even faster than this ship, which is a little bit weird. This is the last mission we'll probably do in this. The trade missions, you just basically fill up your hull and... Not fill up your hull, fill up your hold. And then you just end up not having to really worry about too much after that. You just take it to where it's supposed to go, and you'll actually have the little blip on the radar. Ooh, we have missiles coming in, and I was not expecting that. Let's go ahead and drop out some flat cannons, deal with these fighters. Now, it can deal with the fighters. It can also deal with missiles. The side-mounted flat cannons are not exactly ideal, and their little area of effect is a little bit outside of the little blast area that you see. So generally, if fighters are coming around me, I'll just spurt those out and deal with them. You can get missiles. In fact, I should probably show you guys some of that. Let's see, where's the nearest station? A prison. Okay, that's... Oh, we have trade outpost here. Oh, that's a convoy inbound. Ploutriz. Nah, we'll just go to Larissa Station. That's relatively close. Let's get into warp speed. Now, I kind of wish that you could, like, specifically have it highlight the stations on the horizon. I don't think it would be too cluttered, but it would be nice. Oh, jeez. Too difficult for you to take on. Oh, threat level high. Okay, they are probably going to destroy me, maybe. Maybe not. We could take them. It says that they're too dangerous for me to take on. We have some bombers. Let's see what else we have. Okay. Let's just blow them away. Keep them from going after Splitter. There you go. Gunship down. These guys are not too tough. We're on normal difficulty, by the way. Get the Lancer down. Nothing else around these guys. We can take them out. I don't know why it said this one was red. Got two more guys. We got two Rift Jackers. Difficulty has gone down a great deal. Boom. One bomber left. Let's go ahead and catch up to him. The burst really does help catch up to people. And down he goes. Boom. There we go. We don't have to worry about it anymore. Just take them all out, and you're not too worried. The high is, I believe, orange, and the very high is red. So I guess that was very high difficulty. Didn't really feel like it, I'm just gonna say. And we're about to discover another area as we get really close to some debris there. Surprised it didn't kick me out of warp. Usually it will if you get that close, and don't want to fly too close to planets. You can be destroyed on them. Let's go ahead and drop out. We've got about 23 space meters, or whatever that is. I'm not sure what SM stands for. I'm a scientific nerd, but I still don't know what SM stands for. It's spherical something, I would wager. Because it's a relative distance. A relative distance. So we're going to get in here. We're going to dock with this one, and I'll show you guys a variety of the equipment that you can actually get on your ship. I've been showing off plasma guns and stuff like that, but if you go into weapons, you can choose broadside, secondary, alpha, and beta turrets currently. I'm curious if you'll get like omega turrets and stuff like that later on once you have a whole bunch of turret slots, but I haven't gotten that far. So alpha and beta turret. Broadsides. Currently, I am using the tachyon cannon, which is a fast charge. You can get pulse cannons, which are kind of what you start with. These are slower firing and just kind of your standard side projectiles. And you also have proton cannons, which are slower firing, but they have much longer range, and they can shield penetrate pretty well as well. So I prefer the reload time of the tachyon cannons here. It's like almost half as long. Secondary, you have a choice of flat cannons. You can get some dead dumbfire missiles, which just fire straight out to the side. You can get heat-seeking missiles, which will attract the nearest target that has heat. You can drop out mines, and you can do even EMP flak, which I haven't really experimented with, but its short-range concussive blast disables fighter craft caught in the resulting EMP wave. So that seems like it would be pretty useful, but it's useless against capital ships. So I do like these small flat cannons, though. They have been working pretty well for me. Now, alpha and beta turret is just one turret's on top, one turret's on bottom. That's what I've got going on there. You've got... Currently, I am using the pulse turret, which is like a laser turret. You have scatter turret, which is just kind of like your projectile turret. It fires just shot. It's pretty good. It's what you start with. Pulse turret is longer range, and I really enjoy that a lot more. Flak turret is basically a better version of the side shot ones. You have swarm turrets, which fire, I believe it's swarm missiles, yeah. It's effective against fighters, but I've also had it used against me, which they are pretty nasty against capital ships too. They knock your shields out fast. Shield Buster knocks out shields. You have Leech Turret, fires leech rockets which impair the speed of their target for 40% for 10 seconds. So it's pretty good for stopping people from getting away, I guess. And small fighters are rendered inoperable is a nice thing. Particle Laser is kind of similar to what you've seen me using as far as the green laser. The green laser is a very special laser for me. It's different than either one of these. It's a drop that I just happened to found and I happen to really enjoy. The particle laser is higher damage but much shorter range just by looking at this, and it's got a longer reload time and less shield penetration. And then you have the mining laser, which has really good shield penetration. We only have one of those, but I've only used it for a quest before, so the one that we have is the Viridian Laser, and you can't just buy that at most of the places in this first area. I'd wager you can buy it in future areas, but it is long firing period and is more effective than other lasers at penetrating shields. It is very nice. If you can find one, use it. It's great. But this is actually starting to turn into a little strategy thing. Let's go further on into these. You can get warp drives. You can increase the size of your cargo hold. You can do all kinds of modifications to your ship. It's insane the amount of changes you can make. And yes, there is a jump drive, which would allow me to jump to other areas without using the in-system method, which involves going to a specific point. So I can make utilize jump gates for instantaneous inter-system travel. So, yay. I like jump drives. They'll let me go into the future story of this game. Subsystems, I have the fault tracker currently equipped. You can equip a certain amount of subsystems based on the number of slots you have on your ship. Some of them have 2, like this one. Some of them have more. So yeah, we could get ordnance targeting. We could get turret accelerator, all kinds of interesting stuff to make our ship a little bit more useful. And we have a special boost from our little friend, which you'll find in the story. She's improved our booster efficiency. I suppose we could have used her on, I think it was deflectors that she can attach to as well. Then we have our surplus items here that we're just currently not using, but we could equip. And you can equip them on whatever slot you want. And yeah, we have mining lasers, an extra pulse turret, all kinds of fun stuff there. Let's go ahead and back out of here. I think that's about it. Their commodities market probably doesn't have too much for me. But we can sell... Oh, we cannot sell the Narco Cola here, but we can sell some bio waste. Let's sell that. Yep, we're going to go ahead and sell that for 180 credits. Not real lucrative unless you get something like Space Slaves or something like that, and a place you can sell it at. And there are different places that will not allow you to sell certain things. Like right here, we can't sell live organs, but at another station you might be able to. So you just want to avoid any blue dots whenever you have illegal stuff. So let's depart station, and I will show you how to eject things real quick, because we are going to eject the thing that we don't want in our cargo hold, which is the Narco Cola. System average price. Yeah, we're going to jettison one of those. Let's go. There we go. And then E to jettison it, and it's gone. It's just sitting outside of our ship, right next to the station. We don't have to worry about it. We could pick it up and run with it, but I'm not really big on the illegal stuff. Generally, I prefer earning my missions by blowing stuff up. But overall, I really enjoyed this game. I wish I could show you guys some of the story without spoiling it a little bit, but you'll just have to check out Let's Plays for it to check those out. I currently have one running myself. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed this, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time on GamerFi. Hopefully, I can get out of here with a nice warp to the next mission area and end this episode on a nice little segue.